So I only got my hands on the Canon C400 last week. The main ones haven't been delivered yet. This was a test model that Canon were nice enough to send me, and I was halfway through a video saying, should C70 operators upgrade to the C400? And then I got another call from Canon saying, would I like to check out a newer cinema camera? I said, absolutely. And the next day, the C80 arrived. It is basically the much upgraded C70, same form factor, like DSLR on steroids, but this has a full frame sensor. In fact, the exact same sensor that is in the C400. Backlight, triple ISO. It also has SDI out now, in addition to the full-sized HDMI. It is hard not to get excited about this camera. It is going to retail for $5,500, the same price as the original C70 just a couple years ago. And for $2,500 less than the C400, you're getting pretty much the exact same camera with a couple of caveats, which we'll go into later. We got a new handle design, this kind of trigger configuration where the back is open, but you put one finger in so that you have a little bit more control. We have the same base plate configuration as the C400, so you can now mount your plate horizontally or vertically. Same mounting hole to mount the entire camera vertically if you want to. New, brighter screen with an improved hinge. This is one of the failure points on the original C70. This got loose, but they fixed that. It also has an upgraded locking mechanism to stop it falling open. And it has the same hot shoe as the C400 and the R5C that allows you to add the Tascam unit and allow you to get 4 XLR inputs for the 4 tracks of audio that you can record. Dual SD cards as the C70. We now have Ethernet on the back for networking these cameras together. I have shot with it for the past week and I feel like the footage coming off this sensor is just amazing. As good or better than my C500 Mark II. So what are the caveats? What does this camera not do that the C400 does? Only has one flavor of internal RAW, that's RAW LT, and it can't go over 30 frames per second because of the speed of the SD cards. Also shooting slow and fast motion, the top tier XFAVC codec, the 480 megabits per second intraframe can only go up to 30 frames per second. 4K long op, which is 150 frames per second, can go all the way up to 120. Or if you go into the XFHEVCS, which is 50 megabits per second, you can go all the way up to 180 frames per second in slow and fast. But that's not much of a caveat. Unless you shoot a ton of slow motion footage, and that's the main focus of the camera, that really shouldn't hold you back. You're essentially getting the full featured C400 $8,000 for just $5,500. Full-size back illuminated sensor, outstanding low light quality. This is really a dock shooter's dream with inbuilt ND. We now have USB-C on the body, though I'm not quite sure what you'll be able to do with that. Still have time code in, though it's moved to down here, the front of the body. The C80 is also lacking the lens port on the front of the camera, so you won't be able to use any of the power zoom lenses. So it's not enough that Canon is going to give us a half price C500 Mark II. They're also going to give us a quarter price C500 Mark II that fits in the palm of your hand and can shoot on SD cards. Some other cool things that are true of both the C400 and the C80 is that you now can do auto ISO in C-Log 2 and C-Log 3 before you had to use a BT709 or a LUT applied. All in all, I was super impressed. And if you want to upgrade from your C70 or R5C to something that is full frame, more robust battery life, pro SDI outputs, I think you'll find that the C80 is going to be the future of the Canon cinema range. So due disclosure, I did get this from Canon to test out before the announcement. There was no constraints on what I could say about the camera. I was under no obligation to publish a video about it, but the new cinema cameras, the C80 and the C400, combined with the new RF glass that's coming out, I think is the next natural step for a lot of people out there and the films that they want to make. I will have a C80 and a C400 course available on Canon Masterclass. So if you're thinking of buying these cameras, check that out to shorten the learning curve and understand how to make a great image with these before you even take them out of the box. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.